YouTubers, this is the ShallowCross Sports Network with the Double A bringing you another show. We're doing a recap of the games that went on over this weekend, to include the Titans game, and of course Vanderbilt was on a bye as well as Memphis was on a bye, and so we're going to talk to you about Austin Peay as well as TSU. But this is the Tennessee show, and we're going to get right into it. This is ShallowCross Sports Network with the Double A. We're talking about Tennessee Vols. Tennessee Vols played Arkansas last Saturday evening, and they came away with a win, 30, I think it was 34-31. The game was played well on offense, but on defense it wasn't played well. Now, Tennessee had 5 sacks. And the thing that I saw that was wrong, one, our defensive line, our interior defensive line was not staying in the gaps. They weren't showing any gap integrity. Our linebackers were overshooting the holes. They just weren't doing the job that linebackers supposed to do. You know, I saw where several times our inside linebackers, you know, both Carter and T-Lander overran the running play, so Arkansas was able to get through the gaps and seams and run the ball with Washington. Now, I granted the second half, Coach Banks made some adjustments and they were able to improve on stopping the running game, but they gave up a lot of yards in the run game. And what that does is that lets teams know that we can't stop the run. We have to be able to stop the run. And then, but just looking at the stats, just looking at the box score, this is an ESPN box score. But just looking at the stat, you know, we gave up 256 yards in the air to Taylor Green, and 2 TDs, no interceptions. And then, of course, Washington had 131 yards rushing on 19 carries. Most of those yards were in the first half. So we relatively stopped him on the in the second half. Now, Green, he ran the ball on as well, too. He had 63 yards on 17 carries. And Braden Russell had 47 yards on 8 carries. We did not stop the run. That's 240 yards just on the ground. And then we gave up 76 yards to Sharp. And then Blake, we gave up another 55 yards to Blake in the air. And then, of course, C.J. Brown, we gave up 50 yards to him in the air on three shots. And then, of course, Cam Shanks gave up 3 catches for 44 yards to him, which was a total of 256 yards through the air. We gave up 496 yards of total offense to Arkansas. This is a team that Notre Dame beat 50-something to 13 or something like that. And then beat them in Arkansas. Beat them in Fayetteville. So it doesn't look good for us. And just looking at what Aguilar did, Aguilar was 16-25 for 221 yards. And we left some offensive plays on the field too. DeSean Bishop ran the ball well until he got hurt, but he was 14 carries, 146 yards. And then, of course, Aguilar ran the ball well also. He had 50-some yards on 5 carries. And then he had like a scare that when he fell on that ball, and we thought he was hurt. But looks like Peyton Lewis and Star Thomas need to get a little bit more carries than what they got against Arkansas. Braden Staley was the big receiver for us. He had 5 catches for 109 yards, averaged 18.2 yards catch, and then Kinselman had 5 catches for 56 yards, 55 yards. Mike Matthews had 3 catches for 45 yards. Star Thomas 1 for 5, and Brazel was shut out. Brazel basically had 1 catch for 5 yards. What happened there? Well, they probably was double teaming him with a safety and a corner. We got to figure that out. We got to figure out how to get Brazel more involved in the game against Alabama. And then just looking at on the defensive fumbles, we picked up 1 fumble, 2, 3. We had 3 fumbles that we picked up on miscues by Arkansas. Now, one of them was a real hard hit from Farouk. I believe it was Farouk who made that real hard stop and shook that ball against Jordan. Ross also had another one where he put a hard hit on Jalen Green and knocked one of those fumbles loose. But outside of the turnovers, we did not stop. When you see here safeties making all the tackles, the most of the tackles being made by safeties. Linebackers, Carter and T-Lander, 8 tackles, 7 tackles. We had the sacks. The sacks all together, we had, I think it was 5. We had 5 sacks, I believe, total. Had 5 sacks, total sacks. And, but it looks like on paper that our defense is not playing well. We're giving up too many yards. We got to do something about that. We got to stop the run, and we got to make Alabama's quarterback throw the ball this week coming up. Time of possession, I'm thinking we had now just looking at this, we got nothing out of our kicking game. As far as punt returns, nothing. Kickoff returns, nothing. And so they're kicking the ball into the end zone, and our guys are just waving their hands up, not even trying. And so they've probably been told by the coaches not to even try to run something when it's in the end zone. Like I said, I don't know what to say. We didn't play well on defense. I just going to tell you that point blank. I've already outlined and highlighted what we did wrong on defense. Can we improve on it? Well, I'm going to tell you right now, Alabama's going to try to go after Richmond, and they're going to try to go after Colton Hood like Arkansas did. Our edge rushers got to continue to play the way they played against Arkansas. Our interior line has got to improve. Our interior defensive line has got to improve. And can we win in Alabama? Yes, we can. We can win down in Alabama. We got to do these things. Stop the run. Eliminate big plays. And score whenever we get the ball on long sustained drives or score on big plays. And if we can do that, we have a chance to win. Now, it's easy to say. Alabama's game planning us right now. But with that said, I do believe we can win. I'm not going to make any predictions in the games. It's just too close to call. But I do believe we can win this game, and we can shock Alabama. And just looking at my ticker, Tennessee has moved up to number 11, and I think Vanderbilt moved up also. I think Vanderbilt's number 17 now, and I think Vanderbilt moved up to number 17, and so and Vanderbilt had a bye this week. And then, of course, Memphis, I think, is still at 22, I believe. And then Tennessee moved up to 11. So just looking at that's just looking at what's going across my ticker. So let's look at, so it's a big recruiting battle brewing for David Gabriel Gorges, the wide receiver. Actually running back from Baylor High School there in Chattanooga. And just looking at they're one of the things they're looking at is could David Gabriel Gorges reclassify to the 2026 recruiting class, and he's physically ready with his size to according to On3 to do that. He can go over and actually start playing this year, and so it's a possibility he could do that. But it's going to be a recruiting battle between Tennessee and Ohio State. And I think Alabama's involved in it, and of course Georgia's involved in it too. He's the number 2, or some polls say he's number 1 running back in the country. Some say he's number 2. I think he's like 5'11" or 6 foot, 210 pounds or something like that, 215 pounds, breakaway speed. But just I think it's a clip here on him.
Smith, 2 to the far side. In the slot is Cayden Dewey. Handoff, Gabriel George across the line of scrimmage. Keeps the feet moving. Still going. Breaks a tackle all the way down the sideline. One man to beat. Cuts back, and he's got a touchdown.
Wow. I think we know what play number 1.
He's going to be an asset if Tennessee can pick him up. He came to this last game against Arkansas, and I think he was at the Georgia game, I believe, and then he was at the Arkansas game also. And so he's very excited about playing at Tennessee. And of course, this right here, AZ Sports is saying that there's been dialogue about the 2027 5-star running back recruiting target Gabriel Gorges reclassified to the 2026 class. And if that happens, I hope Tennessee can pick him up and get him signed and get him in the fold at Tennessee, because we're going to lose. We got Baker. He's a freshman, redshirt freshman, I believe. And then we've got, Baker is a freshman, and DeWan Morris, he's a freshman, true freshman. And then you got Lewis will be a sophomore. He'll be a redshirt sophomore next year, and then of course Bishop will be a redshirt junior, if I'm not mistaken. And then of course, Star Thomas is going to graduate; he'll be gone. So we're losing one running back. So we will have room in that running back room for one more running back, and hopefully is David Gabriel Gorges who can fill that spot. The other thing too is you never know with NIL and transfer portal whether we're going to lose DeWan Morris or Baker or any of the other running backs, of course. So it just depends on how things goes. But that's the story on that running back, and hopefully we can pick him up. And then, of course, Andrew Rogers was at the game, and he's saying a lot of good things about Tennessee also. He's the decommit from Virginia Tech, I believe it was. It's either Virginia Tech or Clemson, but anyway, he's 6'6", 260 pounds. He's out of, I think he's out of Grimsley High School, the same school that Faison Brandon, the quarterback, we picked up in the 2026 class. And so hopefully he decides to come to Tennessee also. But with that said, everything's on the up and up. And hopefully Tennessee can come away with a win. And if they can come away with a win in Alabama, that's going to help with recruiting a great deal. And then, of course, Tennessee is rolling in basketball also. Especially with they picking up players. They're picking up a lot of players, a lot of good players here. And they got two for, they got Ralph, what's his name? He's a 5-star wing, and then they picked up another wing out of IMG Academy this weekend. Let me see. I was trying to find a video on him. But let's see. But Tennessee's doing real well in the recruiting game as far as basketball is concerned. And just take a look at it real quick here. Let's see here. Let me see, find the teams. But they're doing real well for 2026 cycle in basketball. And Coach Barnes always does a good job. Let's see if I can find the players. And of course, right now, Arkansas is doing a fabulous job in recruiting in basketball also. But here's the two guys that, here's the two players that Tennessee has signed for the 2026 class. Ralph Scott, he's a wing, and Manny Green, he's a wing. Both these players are going to help immensely with Tennessee's team coming up in 2026. They're going to lose a few players. So the way things are going with the transfer portal and with the NIL, you're looking at players leaving and moving around a lot. And so each year is going to be a challenge, one, to not only keep the players, two, to be able to go out and get players in the portal if you need them, and to have the money and the funds in order to pay the NIL fees to get them in. and then of course the money to keep him there is what I'm getting at. If you have a good player already, you're gonna have to probably pay to keep him there, you know, or increase his NIL money to keep him there. And that's the way it is in basketball, and that's the way it is in football, and it's gonna be that way with anything now with the NIL arena. But with that said, that's going to end this show. I'll have another show to preview the game coming up with Alabama on Saturday night. And like I said, Tennessee, I gave you the keys to for Tennessee to win. And that is stopping the run, interior and our inner defensive line has to play better. Our linebackers have to play better and be able to score whenever we get the ball. We can't have no 3 and outs. We got to be able to get the ball and sustain drives. And if we can do those 3 to 4 things I just mentioned, Tennessee has a chance to come away with a win down in Tuscaloosa in Alabama. And that's going to end this show. This is ShallowCross Sports Network with the AA. We'll see you on the next show.